Everyone knows the advantages of solo living, or perhaps you have just learned them from my previous videos. So, if you have watched it, then let me know what they are. Right, freedom, independence, self-discipline, self-connection, and a great social life. But you know what? Living on your own can be quite a bit challenging. So, what do you mean by that? You want to cast me down, don't you? Wait. Probably no, mate. What I want to say is every coin has two sides, up and down, dark and light, joy and sadness, and living alone is no exception. There are some obvious downsides along with its benefits. Knowing them clearly helps you to have good mental preparation if you have an intention of branching out and living on your own. Hello. I bet you have thought of some, right? Now let's jump into the first drawback. Apparently, there will be a lack of company, in person. You come home and you're really excited about what you have done, who you have met for the day, but such a loud silence. No one's there to greet and share with you or make you a cup of orange juice if you have had a really rough day. Plus, nobody lends you a hand or takes care of you when you get sick or in emergencies. Interestingly, you may notice that your paranoia spikes up a bit when you're in solitude. Every bump in the night could be an intruder, and every weird sound could be he who must not be named. You know who? In the first days I lived by myself, I was so fearful and worried as if anything terrible was going to happen. So I shut the windows before 11 p.m. and I locked around like 10 times whenever I entered the room or before I hit the sack. Just want to make sure that nobody was hiding somewhere. However, seldom do I do that now because I don't want to live in fear, which extremely fatigues. Well, what will be, right? Generally similar to the first disadvantage, although solitude gives you time to reflect upon your relationships, there's a possibility that you might become unsociable, which means you may be more sensitive. You're more likely to feel jealous when you're alone in your room and see your friends, especially your nearest and dearest, hanging out with someone else, having fun with them and posting photos on social media like Facebook and Instagram. The feeling is like catching your boyfriend with another girl. Have you ever experienced that? Of course, you can't tell your friends to stop getting together with them, so you gradually don't want to gather with your friends. You distance yourself and don't proactively interact with them. Not because you don't like them anymore, but you feel abandoned, you feel lonely, and negatively think that they don't want to be friends with you. If you live with your roommate or your romantic partner, perhaps you won't notice that. Maybe it's alright for extroverts because they can somehow manage to connect with their friends and other social relationships. As for introverts, perhaps it's not the case. Just so you know, I'm an ambivert, so I can relate to that a little bit. According to the law of attraction, you get what you think, so the situation will be getting worse if you always keep that thinking. A further unfavorable aspect of isolating yourself is it's very dear when it comes to paying for the rent and utility bills. If you have your own house, then just skip this one. But what I mean is there'll be no one to share the expenses with you, so you are the one who takes the full responsibility. Like I said in the former video, it's not a nightmare. You may face one of these problems, but there are always ways to address them. Honestly, I used to go through all of them, feeling lonely and worried about my finances. Anyway, here are some tips for you who are about to live alone. The first thing that you can do is to be a good neighbor, meaning that you should be approachable and helpful to the people around you and your landlord as well. Imagine you'll be like, hello, how are you? What are you doing? You alright? See you later, mate. It's freaking cool, isn't it? Besides, if you are a good friend of them, they'll give you a hand when you're in need because they are the ones who are physically close to you. But this is just in case, baby. Likewise, you should keep in touch with your family and friends on a frequent basis. For example, you can video call, text them, or pay them a visit. Not only can you show care and concern for them, but you can share with them interesting stories that you have had. You are not lonely, really. Next, you're sad when seeing your friends in the company of others. So, what should we do? Let's think it's perfectly normal. Your friends are not your personal property, and be mindful that everyone has their own friend circle. Recognize that you also spend time away from your friends as well. Today you were this person, tomorrow with another one. So perhaps your friends feel the same way. If you live with someone, you won't have that jealousy, even though your friends haven't contacted you for days. So don't be so miserable. If you want to be with someone, just ask them to grab a coffee or do something like that. Most importantly, you should be happy with yourself, irrespective of whether you're alone or with someone. If you're discontent and not happy being with yourself, then who is fond of spending time with you? As well as this, when you're a happy-go-lucky, jolly-kind person, you tend to bring joys and positive feelings to others. You would care them more than normal, which results in cementing your relationships. But how to be happy on your own? Yeah, it's quite a big topic. We're gonna talk about this in another video. Finally, let's talk about money issue. Many of you are of interest in money, aren't you? So how can we deal with this? Either we rob the bank or stop living alone. None of them, baby. For me, I consider it as the motivation to be more diligent and hardworking in order to earn more money, to think big, to do things outside of my comfort zone. So that's it for today's video. Those are things that you might experience when you're living on your own. I know you may find it a bit daunting, but trust me, it's totally fine. I hope that my tips are helpful for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.